Hey everybody, Denise Mazzola from Everything Dog with your 10-minute tip for this week. And it is about getting prepared to train your dog. You know, if you were to hire painters to come to your house, you would expect them to come with paint, paintbrushes, ladders, maybe some scaffolding, maybe some drop cloths, right? And if they came and said, hey, do you have a ladder we could borrow? And, you know, how about they have paint? Do you have any paint we can use? You'd be like, what? Like what are they talking about? So I guess every profession has its tools. And as a professional dog trainer, one of the best tools that I have to help you train your dogs are high value food rewards. So food reward is a primary reinforcer. You do not need to teach your dog the value of the food. You need to find the food your dog values, right? Because not all dogs will work for the same stuff. So this is a typical Monday at our place and what we're doing to prepare for the week. And every private client I have, when I give them a homework sheet, the first thing it says is take a day and get prepared with dog treats. And we talk about what that might be for their dog. So let me show you what it is that we do and why we do it. So I've already grilled, this plate has pork chops on it, and this one is steak. So it sounds extravagant, but it's really not, because the pork chops and the steak are like $2.29 a pound, and the steak might have been on sale for a little bit less than that. And I use the boneless pork chops because it's just easier to cut up, and dogs love it, and it's not most dogs are not allergic or have any issues with pork. Same thing with the steak. So this is one pork chop that I've already cut up. I use these paper bags. I write pork on it, and I'll show you why, because when I put them in the freezer and I need to get something quick, I need to know what I'm grabbing. So I will put this entire pork chop that I've already cut up in the bag. Then I'm going to just fold it down so it says pork. Now, when I'm training either my dog or somebody else's dog, I will know, oh, like they had an entire boneless pork chop. So it helps me keep track of the dog's food intake, because I've said it before, if I were to train Geo and he could easily eat 2 bags or 2 pork chops in one training session, that would not be unusual at all. Then I need to adjust either his breakfast or his nightly meal. He's not going to get the same amount in his dish after a day like that of training, okay? So the other thing that we use a lot of is the classic hot dogs. We use beef hot dogs only because we have some dogs in the house that can't have chicken, but there's less expensive varieties. Same idea, cut them up, put them in a bag. We generally don't freeze the hot dogs. We found they got kind of slimy when they defrosted. So it sounds sort of gross, but hot dogs really don't go bad that fast. So we just cut them up, put them in a bag, and put them in the refrigerator. The pork chops and the steak, we bag it and then we freeze it, because that will go bad pretty quickly, okay? So let's look over here what I've done already. So this is a homemade beef treat that I've made. So it's beef liver, there's some corn flour, there's garlic, and there's some regular flour in here. It all went into my food processor until it was super blended, put it on this cookie sheet that has a little bit of an edge to it, right? And then I sprayed it with Pam so the whole thing will come up. And now that it's cool, I'll use a pizza cutter and I will cut it up, and again, I'll bag it and I'll label it as beef liver treats, and it'll go in the freezer. Now, this stuff has to go in the freezer, or you need to use it up really quick, because it will go bad, because it's all fresh ingredients, obviously, right? There's no preservatives. And so we just freeze it. We take it out as we need it. If we don't use it and we're going to have a day where we don't need it, you can pop it back in the freezer and defrost it as you need it. So I use a pizza cutter to cut this up, put it in a bag as well. And generally, these homemade beef liver treats the dogs absolutely go crazy about this, okay? So it's worth a little bit of effort. So the one I'm going to show you that I'm still in the process of making is Sardine Treat. So if you don't want your dog to eat meat or whatever, they are a little on the stinky side, which is why dogs love them. And they're super easy to make. So the first thing I did is I put the graham crackers. So the recipe is 1 can of sardines in oil, and I'm doubling mine. So 1 of these, 3 eggs in a sleeve of graham crackers. So I'm doubling it. I'm going to use 2 cans of sardine, again, because I'm making stuff from our dogs and everybody else's dogs, so I make a lot. But the first thing is I've got all the part of the graham crackers in here. I've bashed them with some things and I've crushed them up with my hands. And they are going to go in the Cuisine Art first, the food processor, because I need them to get kind of fine, like a, oh. So that's super fast, right? I love this. No need to stress. All right, so now it's super fine, right? So it's like graham cracker flour, okay? That's what we need. Put this back on. All right, now I am going to just dump the 2 cans of sardines, because again, I'm doubling it, and that's in oil. I feel like Julia Child of dog treats. Except for I don't have a French accent, thank God. All right, so that's 2 cans of sardines because I'm doubling it. And 6 eggs go in as well. And that's super easy. And now I am going to blend this. It doesn't take long. Once this is done, I'm going to put it in the pan, and then you'll bake them 350 for about 20 minutes. Oh, super nice. Okay, so this is what it looks like. You know, I could scrape this side down. Great consistency. That's going to go in this pan. I've sprayed it with Pam already, the cooking oil, right, so that they will stick to the pan. So you'll just put this all in here. I'm not going to be able to get it all in. I have to maneuver some things, but just so you can see. So it's not all in there. I've got to scrape it out. But you'll just spread it out so that it's as nice, even consistency. Thicker, you know, you can make them as thick or as thin as you want. And you can, you know, if you cook them too long, they'll be a little bit crispier. If you cook them a little on the short side, they'll be chewier. So I kind of like them chewy for the dogs. So I do it 350 for about 20 minutes, and I let them cool like I've done with this beef treats. And then I'm going to freeze them. You're going to have to freeze them if you don't use them up right away, again, because they're going to go bad. And Gio's back over. He's like, oh, are those my favorite treats? I think so, buddy. Okay, everybody, so your 10-minute tip, get prepared. If you're going to train your dog, you're going to need to have the best reinforcements possible. Think, would you rather work for a quarter, or would you rather work for a $5,000 bonus? You're going to work for the $5,000 bonus. So is your dog. And the $5,000 for your $5,000 bonus for your dog is homemade liver treats, homemade sardine treats, cut up pork chops, cut up steak, or hot dogs. It's a lot less expensive to take some time, make your treats, get your refrigerator and your freezer stocked, and then go have fun training your dog. So if you've enjoyed this video, we'd love to have you subscribe. We'd love to have you share this with your friends, all your dog people. Everybody needs to know, you know, the value of preparing and getting, I call them motivators, right? We want the reinforcements ready to go. So when you want to train your dog, you can grab some treats out of the refrigerator, the freezer, and go. So please share this video. We'd love to have you do that. Subscribe so that you'll know when we do a weekly 10-minute tip. You'll get a notification and you can jump on and see what we're doing. And we'll also post in the comments the recipes, because they're super quick and easy. And we're also going to post a link to a muzzle course that we're getting ready to launch. So depending on when you actually watch this video, you can opt in. So just click on the link, give us your name and information, your email. You're going to go on our muzzle course email list. We are not going to barrage you with a lot of other stuff. And when that muzzle course becomes available, if you need to desensitize your dog to a basket muzzle, if you're worried about aggression, if your dog has already bitten somebody or goes after other dogs, or if you have interdog issues within your house, a basket muzzle can be the best thing you do for yourself, your sanity, your stress level, as well as your dog's. Because when the dog is muzzled, around the house, like you can just relax. You know, it's not going to guarantee that there's not going to be an injury, but your whole demeanor can really change, and your dog can chill out a little bit as well. So we'll talk about that more in the muzzle course. But if you're interested in it, click the link and just give us your information. All right, you guys. So enjoy, happy treat making for this 10-minute tip, and I'll see you soon.